Welcome, everybody, to the Sweatshop Podcast, a one-stop shop for talking shop. It is me, your host, Sweats, and my co-host, the Maestro. How you doing today, man?
Hey, I'm doing all right. All right. Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing like super exciting. I am gearing up for vacation soon. So heading out on vacation very soon.
Yes, sir.
But other than that,
Yeah.
just kind of chilling in the summer fun.
Yep. My school year ended on Friday. We got the teachers out of there on yesterday. So I'm just in the, I'm in the place by myself, by my lonesome, getting work done.
There you go.
You know what I mean? Everything
Sometimes that's the best thing. You just got to get it done.
I'm telling you right now, it is a magical thing. Like, I mean, it's just nobody in the building right now. You know what I mean? And no offense to my teacher friends, but it's time for us to depart for a little bit.
Parting makes the heart grow fonder. You know,
Doesn't it though? Doesn't it? We'll see. But no, I mean,
Jesus, I mixed up two sayings there. I just realized that.
What did you say?
It's distance.
Yeah.
It's distance makes the heart grow fonder,
and
then parting is such sweet sorrow.
Yeah.
Jesus.
You know what? Now you create your own shit.
I did,
and now we're gonna make that shit happen.
It's like Shakespeare from a dummy.
That
not for dummies, just from a dummy.
From a dummy. That's some. What's that motherfucking? Is that Yogi Berra? Is that the motherfucker who had all those?
Yeah. Yogi Berraism.
Yeah.
Yogi Berraism, something like that. Yeah.
That shit is funny as hell. But you're going on vacation. I'm going on vacation. So everything's gonna be, feeling some type of way. I need a little break. You know what I mean? Like I need myself break. I take several vacations during the summer. I don't play games. I'm out here doing the most. But just kind of circling back a little bit. Let's talk about like what happened this past week in general. Like, I mean, what happened this past week? We got two new champions, world champions in their respective sports. We got the NHL champions, the Las Vegas.
The Golden Knights.
Las Vegas Golden Knights. Yeah. I'm gonna need some help. And the Denver Nuggets. That were decided. What's interesting about all this is that remember we were talking about the playoffs early, right? And like who's going to get where and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I had called literally what that thing was. I had Denver and Miami in the finals, and I had Denver taking the whole shebang ball. So So I mean, it did come to fruition. I should have put money on it. I did not. That's on me.
Yep.
That's on me. Yep. However, it's all good. I mean, we were talking about how many games Miami would actually win in this particular thing here, and they did pull out one. They did pull out one.
They got one,
and
they might have got a second one.
Huh?
You said they might.
I thought they might, and they were scrappy as hell. Like, I mean, they're just a scrappy squad. They just don't have the firepower. They just do not. It does not matter. Because at one, like when that boy takes over, like it's just nothing you can do about it.
Well, did you see him in like the post conferences where he's like, "I just want to go home." Like he does not give a shit.
No.
He's like, "I just want to go home." They were like,
"My title."
He was like, so the news reporter was like, "So are you excited for the parade?" And he's like, "When is parade? When is the parade?" They were like, "Thursday," and he's like, "Oh, I want to go home."
Yeah.
Every time he's like, I won. Let me enjoy it. I want to go home.
Exactly. Let me go home. I want to relax.
He doesn't care about all the fanfare.
He does not.
He just wants that title, and it's like, I'm going home.
Basketball's a fucking long time. Like it's from October to motherfucking June, and then they have like the pre shit like coming like August, September. Like it's just like he's like, I need a break real quick. Like, let me go ahead and get this break in. And that's why it's hard to repeat, right? Like, it's hard to repeat because you're going in, you got to go all the way through mid-June, Then you got to come back in August again. You got to do all the shit again. You got to ramp back all the way up and win everything. You know what I mean? It's long. It really is. It's long as shit. Like comparatively to like the NFL. NFL starts literally 1 month before, ends 5 months before.
Yeah.
NBA. You know, like in reality.
Real short window.
Yeah, like it's not nearly the same.
Yeah, like the NBA takes a long time. MLB takes a while. I
MLB
mean, they're
takes a
already
while.
ramping up in February, and then this
Yep.
shit'll go till what,
Till
end of October,
November.
maybe even November at
No,
this
maybe
point.
November. It's
I think it
still.
will
I don't
be
think it's
November.
still as long as like I think the NBA's season is longer. Like it's like
if you count the preseason and stuff
yeah,
like all
not.
that.
I'm not even talking
probably.
about game. I'm not talking about like the games. Obviously, there's more games in Major League Baseball, but the actual season itself,
Yeah,
man, like that. It takes forever for the NBA to be done.
Yeah. We are in that weird period of time where there's only baseball now.
Yep, only baseball.
Like there's no basketball for a little bit. There's no ice hockey for a little bit. And there's definitely no football for a little bit at all. And it's
We got
just
about 2 months for that.
And not to say the baseball games right now aren't meaningful, but they're not like it's not like crunch time for the playoffs or anything. It's like this is pretty like this is like the downtime, so to speak.
It is.
Where right now you're focusing on baseball, and that's
if
you're not all you got.
And if you're not a baseball fan, you are SOL right now. Like you really
you're watching golf, maybe.
Right. Exactly. You're watching
like
golf.
You're watching golf.
Something else.
Or like you're following the horse races.
You're going out and playing pickleball. Like that's what you're doing right now.
Could be.
That's what the fuck you're doing. So yeah, I mean we're in that weird place, and also what's almost equally as long or as long as the hockey season. They run congruently against each other,
pretty much,
right?
Yeah.
Is it congruently? Is that the right word? Yes. And so or parallel or whatever you want to call it.
Well, because when did I literally thought this either happened within a day of each other or it did happen on the same day.
It was like the next day.
Because like they both ended in 5 games.
Yeah.
Each one ended 4-1. You know what I mean? Like And the only game that so Florida beat Vegas 3-2 in game 3, and that was in overtime.
Right.
Then Vegas beat Florida game 4 3-2, and then every other game was just an absolute thrashing. It's like Vegas 5-2 game 1, Vegas 7-2 game 2.
Yep.
Game 3 they lost in overtime. Vegas won 3-2 game 4, and then game 5 they were like, all right, we're done playing around, 9-3.
Yep. What's interesting about all this is that both those teams that we talked about are from the Miami area, right? So both those are from the Miami area, and both of them were underdogs, like throughout the playoffs, and they both lost.
They were like both last seed teams, which is a very ironic thing. But they also lost to high seeded teams in the finals that like sort of like the expected players to win, so to speak.
Right. I mean, it's fascinating. I mean, how that kind of worked out together. And they're both underdogs. They both went to the final. I mean, there's nothing. It feels like it's disappointing for Miami and the Florida Panthers, but in reality, like you weren't even supposed to be there. You know what I mean?
No, that's full on Clerks right there. Wasn't even supposed to be here.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. You're like you don't even go here. Like, why you like? Why are you here right now? But like, they made their presence known. I mean, they took a game away when they needed to take a game, at least to make it a little like, ooh, maybe they'll take one more. Like, you know what? You never know what can happen. But again, the stronger teams in 7-game series, typically the stronger teams will win the series. Like, I mean, that's usually how it goes. I mean, because in 7 games, that's why they have 7, right? If you can beat them 4 times out of whatever, then, that is what it is. There's no sneezing at it.
Well, and it's not like any team had a large amount of momentum. Like, in the playoffs, when those teams get that momentum, like I always think of, I think it was it the 2007 Rockies or is it the 2004 Rockies? Whichever one was the Rockies team that went and then lost to the Red Sox.
I think it was the 7.
I think it was 07 too.
Yeah. I think 04 was St. Louis.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, I always think of that team because like that team was like a team that had like not a whole lot of business being there,
Mm-hmm.
but they got hot at the right time and
Yes,
just
they did.
mowed their way through the
Yep.
National League to get to the finals. And I feel like that's kind of how both of those Florida teams were, even though they didn't really have that momentum. They were just scrappy enough.
No, they definitely didn't have the momentum because Miami had lost the previous game.
Yeah.
Like that play-in or whatever, they had lost that game.
Yeah.
And then they came in and won, and then they went on this
And
run.
they didn't it's like the Celtics thing, like that
Yeah.
was hit or miss, but they were
Yeah.
scrappy enough.
Yeah.
It just seemed like there was no team that had that momentum to just carry them through. Like the
Right.
Nuggets had the momentum, but they were like a really good team.
Yeah, they're a really good
Yeah,
team.
I mean, it's not like they needed the momentum to push them through. They were just going to beat you because they're better.
Yep, they're just a better team. When it all comes down to it, they were just straight up better.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, well, kudos to those guys, really. And Jokic was a fucking monster. Like,
I could understand why he's so tired because he literally put the entire Mile High City on his back.
Legit carrying motherfuckers.
That dude is out of breath for many reasons.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I just want to go home.
I mean, all he needs is like about 2 more seasons of that type of ball, and he's in the Hall of Fame. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he needs like 2 more seasons of that type of playing, and he'll be in the Hall of Fame easy because, like, you shouldn't be playing like that. Like, you shouldn't be out here killing folks like the way he was killing folks.
He's just destroying.
Yeah, he shouldn't be doing that shit.
And the fact that as much as I do enjoy Embiid, and I think he does deserve it in his own way.
Sure,
that, like, I mean, when you see Jokic go through the playoffs like that, and you're like, ooh, did they get this right?
Yeah, did they get this right?
Yeah.
And as much as, again, you could argue, like, you could argue giving MVPs to like certain players every year, right?
Yeah, like, I don't think Embiid's a wrong answer in this scenario.
No, it's not a wrong answer. I mean, clearly Jokic is a better player. Like, he truly is most valuable to that squad. And you could actually, what's funny is Embiid was out against when the Sixers were playing the Celtics, and they won the game that they were out.
Yeah. Right.
Like, you can't be. It's hard to quantify that. Like, your MVP,
when you're saying when you're the MVP, your team still won in a high pressure situation without you.
It was like the years ago when, like, maybe Peyton Manning didn't play a fucking game because he was hurt with his neck against the Colts, and Colts won one game out of 15 that year.
Yeah, I think they went 13.
Yeah, or some shit. I was like, he should have been MVP.
Like, every other year they're winning 10 plus games, and then Peyton Manning goes out that one year and they're 3-13.
Exactly.
Like, that's the definition of MVP.
MVP. That's MVP. That's what that is. But yeah, kudos to them. Shoot, let's see where we can get to next. Let's slide over. Boop, 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 boop. Let's do this. Let's go to sports news.
Okay. So you want to go to sports news for the wrong reasons.
For the wrong reasons. We got several of these things that are going on right now.
Some troublemakers.
Yeah, we got some troublemakers out here. Conor McGregor, who I think has been in the news more lately for dumb shit than, like, just as opposed to him, like, just talking trash or whatever, right? He's just
or like promoting a fight,
right? Whatever he's doing, his or his what is it, whiskey or whatever he's doing. Like, he's been doing some dumb shit lately. Like he beat the shit out of like that one mascot. You see that?
Oh.
You see that?
I did not see that.
Oh man. So, like, what's wild is, like, I was like, did he really? Like, he sent this dude to the hospital, and then I saw it. I said, holy shit. Like, he's beat, like, dude, yes, it's a costume, but if you put all your force into pounding down there's somebody in there still. Like,
it's not a cartoon. It's not like you're gonna see the birds going around their heads and be like, oh,
like, I feel like if he was in WWE, right, like, it's talking about stiff, like, that dude, like, you need to chill out. Like, he was going all in on those punches. Like, I was like, yo, like, yeah, he's hurt, no shit. Like, if you would have took off the thing, he would have killed him. You know what I mean? Like, it's still not concrete, but it's hardwood floor underneath. There's no give. Now you're just pounding away at his costume. It's crazy as hell. But that happened, and then now he's also accused of sexually assaulting a woman.
Yeah,
in the bathroom.
That's the one I did hear about.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, the woman said McGregor violently forced himself on her inside a VIP men's bathroom, which is odd in itself because a VIP men's bathroom and you're in there. But okay, we'll go from there. We'll go there.
Yeah, I mean, regardless.
Yeah, it's just as soon as you hear something like that, it's like, why were you in the men's bathroom? But maybe he pushed her in there or whatever the case may be. It could be
I don't know if that's necessarily the detail to focus on.
Right.
Put it that way. But
well, the point is the only reason is because when you're talking about when you're like, okay, this happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you're explaining your situation.
Yeah.
You gotta make sure like this is
like because I know there's times where like there's no line for the men's bathroom.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So, but it's it's VIP area,
VIP?
Whatever.
Yep.
But like that still doesn't.
No. I don't know what happened. But I'm just because
he could have also like taken her in there too.
Exactly. I don't like Conor McGregor. Like I've never liked Conor McGregor. However, I'm just looking at it from like a whole side of like, okay, so at first I was like, yeah, that checks out. Like Conor McGregor,
yeah,
that checks out. Like I'm not, yeah, he's guilty. Like that's my first thought. You know what I mean? But then I have to be like, okay, let's look at the other side. Maybe he didn't do it. Like I can't, like let's look at all the evidence first. But like,
yeah,
because we have an assumption about McGregor, right? Like, and like he's a complete tool bag, like a complete tool, right? So it's almost like, yeah, well, see, he's a tool bag. Like he's out here doing this dumb shit, right? With these women now because he thinks he can, right? And that totally checks out for McGregor's MO, right? But that doesn't necessarily mean that's the person he is, and like somebody could be taking advantage of that. I don't really know, like
yeah.
So
I mean, the statement from his lawyer was a little interesting.
What his statement say?
Because it just says like obviously he's denying the allegations through his attorney, and the attorney said in a statement to ESPN, Mr. McGregor will not be intimidated.
I see. I kind of see what he's trying to say there, but yes.
But like, I feel like that's just kind of a weird sort of statement.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that's what's going to be said.
He needs a better PR person.
Yeah, that's just like, to me that's like okay, great. Like we understand if you're going to deny it, that's fine. But like, you will not be intimidated. Are you intimidated by this person who, like, why? I don't know. Why would you feel intimidated if you clearly did not do anything wrong and you're denying it? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. And plus he has a history of doing this shit.
I know.
And it's proven. It's not not like all these allegations. It's not like,
no, he did it.
It's not like the like somewhat murky water that because I know we're gonna get there in a second with like Trevor Bauer. You know what I mean? Like there was some little murkiness in there.
Yeah.
But now it's starting to like line up. They're starting to be like,
we're about to find out
paths of behavior, that kind of thing.
We're about to find out real quick.
Yeah.
So for McGregor, so again, we know he is a douchebag, right? So we know this for facts. Matter of fact, the woman this is where I know like some shit might be really going down. It's like the woman immediately contacted the authorities. Like, she immediately did this. There was no like, I'm gonna wait 6 months, I'm gonna wait 5 months, I'm gonna do this. She was like, no, fuck that. This motherfucker, I'm done with this shit, or whatever this shit is. I'm not taking that shit.
Well, it's good. That's good.
It's great.
Too. Especially if like it is something that just happened. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, if it just happened, just do it. Like, you know what I mean? Get that shit done. I think it's important for McGregor to, I think he needs to, I mean, he's been going down a weird path. I think he needs to get some help some type of way. I don't know if it's alcohol or whatever. He needs to
or just like go away.
Yeah. I mean,
You
I
know what
think
I
he
mean?
needs to go
Like,
to AA. I think he's probably an alcoholic. I mean, number one, I think he's legit. He looks like an alcoholic. Like, I mean, look at it. If you look at any of his pictures recently, like he looks totally fucked. He does not look like the same guy he came like from 10 years ago. Like he looks totally fucked up.
no, he likes to put on a proper number 12.
He does. He needs to.
He might need a proper 12-step program.
Jesus Christ. I was gonna say some other shit. I said he needs. I don't know if he's trying to rack up his proper ladies out here. He needs to calm down. He can't be counting that shit
No,
out.
well,
Like,
that's not the proper way to do it, sir.
he needs to learn
Not
today.
he's got to get the proper 12, not the improper 12.
Jesus. Ask for consent, sir. Like, I mean, you are Conor McGregor. Ask for consent. There's no need. Sign a disclosure, just like Tiger Woods. Like, do the right thing. Like, you know what I mean?
Or like Derek Jeter. Nobody's
Derek
saying
Jeter.
shit about Derek Jeter.
Nobody ever says wrong things about Derek Jeter.
And he could be doing the freakiest stuff, but you know what? He's played about it. You're going to get a gift basket afterward.
Yep.
It's all good.
That's it. It's all good. Do your thing. Nobody should be mad about that. Just do what you need to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just do what you need to do. Now, on the other side of this other dude who's also been accused of other things, Trevor Bauer. He's back again. And here's the weird thing. This is back in this again. It's just one of those things that is happening. I'm not quite sure like what's happening here, because when I read this, it reads like the other woman in a way, right? Yeah. It reads similar to like now she's pregnant and then the baby, she had a miscarriage, right? And there's no proof. Now there's no proof that he was a father, anything related to him having a child with her or anything like that, right? It's just all super convenient, like in the way that I'm saying. Now, having said that, Trevor needs to watch who he is putting his dick in. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what else to say to Trevor. And this looks like it was 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
This happened 3 years ago.
Well, almost 3 years ago.
Almost 3 years
December
ago.
2020, yeah.
Right, December 2020. And this is what she had said. He held a jagged steak knife to her throat and choked her several times. And then she filed this complaint in 2022, December. Right? She accused Bauer of forcibly removing her clothes, sexually assaulting her, and slapping her before he used her butterfly braids as a rope to choke me unconscious with my hair. In the amended complaint, her attorney stated that the assault resulted in an unplanned pregnancy. So she is accusing him of rape, just straight out, flat out rape. No sexual assault here. This to me is just, there's no, I know we're like, in that term sexual assault, like there's like levels to it. Like this sounds like just straight out rape and then she got pregnant. You know what I mean? Like that's what it sounds like.
Well, I mean, I guess it would be if she didn't consent to the encounter at all, for sure.
Right. Instructed that Bauer said she shouldn't keep any records of what occurred, no pregnancy, and they should keep it private, right? That's what she claims. And she became suicidal and went to the hospital. In the weeks after the assault, Bauer slammed her onto a computer, breaking the screen when she was about 3 months pregnant. She decided not to terminate, but had a miscarriage in April 2021, according to her filing Tuesday. Bauer categorically denies these women's allegations. Obviously, he does, because he would be going to jail for a very long time.
Yeah.
If he didn't, obviously. What else happened after here? Sorry, I'm trying to read ahead here. But he's countersuing. He's countersuing this lady, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's countersuing.
I guess he did give her money.
He gave her money. They said Bauer has recordings of their conversations, which show the woman asked for $1.6 million to terminate the pregnancy. The woman asked for $1.6 million to terminate the pregnancy. Bauer provided the woman more than $8,700 to reimburse her for medical expenses purportedly related to her pregnancy, according to his court filings. But the woman never provided any medical records to substantiate her pregnancy or termination.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, there's no proof that the baby ever existed.
Right.
She has to have proof that she went to the. If she has none of this proof that she went to a Planned Parenthood clinic or something, or because what she said it was December, and she had a miscarriage in April, she would have some sort of something.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Some sort of record.
You're about 4 or 5 months into pregnancy now. Like, you're going to have some sort of record that
of what happened here,
of anything regarding a baby.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Like, that's, if she does not have that at all, like she was pregnant and she had a miscarriage or whatever the situation may be, then this sounds like extortion, right? It sounds like extortion because he's already in hot water. So it's like, oh, that's easy.
He's like, yeah, I'll just send this money because that's easy for me. I got this money. Like,
right.
It's easy for me to just not have another thing to come out, and then maybe because she saw how easy it was to get that money, now going for more.
Right. Now, if she
not to say that he didn't do any of this stuff, I'm sure he did.
Here's the thing.
Some of these things.
Here's the thing. This happened only 3 years ago. The statute of limitation for rape, I think, is longer than that. Like, I think it's longer than that. So he could go to jail for this.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
She's not pressing charges. She's suing him.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
she's looking for money.
She's looking for money
because it sounds like she doesn't necessarily care if he goes to jail for it.
Right.
Which like, to me, wouldn't you, like, if someone did something like that,
you would want them to go to jail?
Wouldn't you want them to go to jail, especially if it was not consensual? Like, they should be locked up for that.
Locked up, period.
But the fact that it's like, well, still going to let you have your career, just give me money for it.
Right. And the countersuit, like,
I feel like money just doesn't solve that kind of trauma or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, even most times for some of those victims, going to jail is the most that can happen, and it's still not, enough. You know what I mean? Like, because of the horrible things that these people do.
Right. Yeah, he needs to watch. I mean, and this is, I mean, granted, this was 3 years ago, so I'm assuming
this is when he was
racking them up.
Yeah.
So he was feeling some type of way, racking up all this stuff or whatever situation may be. So I'm sure he has definitely learned his lesson as far as that type of situation goes. But he really, like, this sort of thing, however, like, if this is any way true, like, man, like, if this is any way true, like, the fact, I mean, to the point where, yes, he tried, like, she tried to get money out of him to get this baby. If he has proof of that, that doesn't look good for her. And if she doesn't have proof that this baby even existed, that's a huge
like any sort of record of any of that kind of stuff.
Not just going to the hospital. She has to have record of there being a child inside of her. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's where that is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's how I feel about that anyway. You got to have some sort of record, dude. Like,
I would just feel like, in addition to money, she would be seeking the charges and jail time and stuff too. That's where I'm kind of scratching my head, that it's just a suing and not like pressing charges for this.
Yeah.
That's kind of where my thought process is. It's like, I feel like you'll get a better result anyway if you press charges, even if you want money.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, because then you'll get money and you'll get the person jail time. Like, I feel like you're going to have more success that way than if you're just suing and then doing that. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's kind of where
It's
where it hurts my brain a little bit.
Yeah. I'm obviously we're going to figure out more of this as it goes forward.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm sure more details are going to come out.
Yeah, because this is crazy. Like, yeah, it says has scheduled to take place throughout the majority of this year, with both sides agreeing we'll be ready for a jury trial by May 2024. So, I mean, if it goes to jury and they already know about Trevor Bauer, that's a whole problem anyway, because Trevor's, unless he has no proof, you know what I mean? If she has some proof, he's going to lose a lot of money, I feel. So there's that. So yeah. Oh, and the last thing that happened this week was, or I guess last couple weeks ago, was John Gotti III and Mayweather fought. Right, they had a boxing match. And
this was just an exhibition, right? This wasn't like an official fight.
Yes, this is an exhibition fight, right? So, I'm trying to see when this actually was here. I think it was literally just last week. Yeah, this was last weekend. So they have, and he's John Gotti III. Is the grandson of the mob boss John Gotti, like the famous John Gotti, like back in the day, right?
He grew up Gotti,
right?
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
This dude is, I guess he's like an amateur boxer, like he's coming up or whatever, maybe, and this is what Mayweather's been doing. He's been kind of making money like this, like going around the world essentially fighting whoever, like pretty much wants to fight him in an exhibition because. Mayweather is considered one of the greatest boxers of all time. You know what I mean? In my opinion, just watching boxing for the last 34 or 5 years of my life, plus watching old things and whatever, he is a top 3 boxer all time to me. He is it's hard for me to say one way or the other. He is a top 3 boxer to me. He's fought everybody. He's done everything that you could possibly do as a fighter. So all these guys are trying to come at him. So, yeah, why not, fight Mayweather? So Mayweather's 46 years old at this point, right? He's old. So Mayweather is mollywopping John Gotti.
I can only imagine.
Yeah, he's beating him, but he's not, he's not knocking him out or anything. Like, he doesn't have any power, right? But and John Gotti's way bigger than him. I think he weighed in at like 180 something. Mayweather's only about $150.
Yeah,
he's $150.
I mean, he definitely has like the size and reach advantage. I'm sure.
Yeah, but he's just beating him, right? He's beating him up, and he's barely throwing punches because you don't realize until you get into a ring with somebody like of that skill set. Like, I don't know what to do right now. Like, I tried to punch him, but then all of a sudden I got hit. I don't know what. I swung and then I got hit. I don't know how. I got hit 3 times. And that's essentially what it's like in being in a ring with Mayweather. I somehow got hit. Don't know how, but I did. So he got hit like a bunch of times and he barely swung. He got a couple good shots. I won't say good shots, but he got a couple shots in your boxing. So yeah,
a blind squirrel finds a nut every
right.
now and again.
He lands a punch or two, right? Great. So, but as the fight starts to like evolve and he's starting to like really take control, he starts to hold Gotti. I'm talking about starts to hold Mayweather, and then at the end where the disqualification happens is where he's holding Mayweather and takes him. They're like pretty much in the middle of the ring, and he takes and the ref is trying to break them up, and he's holding him and like he gets him all the way to the corner essentially as he's holding him, not even trying to like. Then as they break up and he's like, "That's it, we're done," because you're not trying to fight. Then he loses his shit, Gotti. He loses his whole shit and starts swinging at Mayweather. And then as he's running at him, he actually catches a shot or two from Mayweather. And then eventually everything breaks up, but not break up, because everything is devolving like all over the place, in the ring, outside the ring, in the locker room, in the hallway areas. Like there's just fighting going everywhere in here, right? All over the place. He loses his ever loving shit, right? He really does. And eventually, it just takes forever. It's crazy. It's in pandemonium. It's worth the watch just to see how crazy everything goes on. There's, it's the viral world. So you got cameras everywhere doing everything. You got all the angles. If you want.
I was gonna say that's the highlight of the whole thing. I'm sure
Right.
that fight was like snooze-worthy.
Right.
And then that happens because this dude obviously is out of his league.
Right. He's
trying
not
to box with Mayweather, and he's just holding him.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like if he basically, from what it sounds like, he was giving up. Like he just gave up because he's like, I don't know what else to do.
Right.
I'm just getting my ass beat. I don't want to get knocked out, so I'm just going to hold him.
Right. Yeah, he didn't want to be embarrassed. So what happens is this. Then afterwards, he's like threatening, he's threatening his daughter. Like he's talking with his family and everything like that. He's crazy, right? Because he's a mobster, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like he's a gangster. He's a mobster, like that type of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Even though
well, you got that mentality at least,
right? I'm sure the mob. I'm not saying the mob doesn't exist to this day, but it's not what it is. Like you need to calm the fuck down, type shit, right?
Yeah.
So,
I don't think Mayweather's going to be sleeping with the fishes in the next day.
No. Now, if he is, we know who did it.
Well, yeah. If somebody puts cement shoes on Mayweather and he's at the bottom of the fucking river wherever he lives, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah,
we know what happened.
We know exactly what happened.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was crazy as hell. But he got suspended for 6 months by the commission. And he probably should be. He probably should be banned for a while longer than that. But
probably.
It
doesn't sound like this dude's having a thriving career anyway.
No. I mean, he could be okay, but I mean, again, Mayweather's the GOAT. What you gonna do?
Yeah.
So that craziness, it's worth the watch. If anybody hasn't seen that, it is worth the watch. Pretty insane, to say the least. Let's bounce over to these two events that are happening in the next couple weeks. We have the AEW. So let's
because that's coming up soon.
Coming up soon.
The Forbidden Door.
Yeah, it's coming up soon.
Yeah.
So we got the Forbidden Door happening soon, and we got a nice little. I like the Forbidden Door stuff. I do like. That's a cool little gimmick, and it fits to. You don't need any storylines because they don't have storylines anyway. So it just works out.
These are all just kind of like dream matchups and stuff. Anyway, you know what I mean. It's not. There is really no storyline to be had. It's kind of taking what are perceived to be the best at these sort of things, or seeing where AEW is going, New Japan's going, and kind of matching up these different matchups where there's enough crossover anyway, but these are like the big stars,
right?
You know, I mean, these are the biggest stars. Like, they're getting one of the ones that looks really exciting is Okada and Bryan Danielson.
I think that's the one
that's exciting. You know what I mean? Like that's a really, really exciting card there.
That gets my jimmies going.
Yeah. And they're going to try to probably go for 45, 60 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like this isn't going to be a 15-minute sort of deal. Like, they're going to let those boys go.
Yeah. You're talking about some of the greatest of the literal generation. You
know
what I mean?
Well, yeah, you're talking about probably the one of the greatest wrestlers in New Japan pro wrestling history, one of the greatest champions there. And then you're also talking about one of the greatest American wrestlers.
Right. Literally of all time. We're talking about all time ever type stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like two generational talents going against each other. So that kind of kicking things off. I think that was the one that really kicked off putting a card together for Forbidden Door.
And heel Danielson is is different. So
Yeah.
I like heel Danielson when he wrestles. You know, I enjoy his work when he's a heel. So yeah, I'm into it. Like I'm into it. They got Sonata and Jack Perry.
That's an interesting pairing.
It
Like
is an interesting pairing.
I enjoy that. I enjoy
Yep.
that pairing, and that it is for the IWGP heavyweight title. Like
I think
that's
it's good for Jungle Boy. Like, you know what I mean? Just to, you know what I mean?
yeah.
To be in that
Yeah,
world.
and the fact that he was put in that spot over
Several
countless others that could be in that spot. You know, there's quite a few people that could be there. You could put Hangman Page there. You could put, you know, some other guys, Moxley. You could put whatever.
Yep.
But putting a young guy like that, but also Sonata's, you know, not, you know, he's not the oldest veteran there either. He's been around for a minute, but he's finally getting his shot there with the heavyweight championship. So this should be a nice little match there as well.
Agreed.
And then what I thought was hilarious, because I did watch Dynamite this past week already.
Okay.
And this announcement for Tanahashi versus MJF.
Right.
And MJF was like, nah. He's like, nah, I'm not doing that. No. He's like, it wouldn't be the first time I no-showed an AEW event. So he's treating it like that, and it's like so disrespectful.
Right.
Like it's almost like if you know, for WrestleMania, Austin Theory was like, yeah, you know what, John Cena? I don't want that match.
I don't want it.
Nah, it's not worth it for me.
Nope.
Like that was I just found it hilarious, because like MJF just went through this time limit draw eliminator match with Adam Cole, which I am not the biggest Adam Cole person in the world. That match was fantastic.
Good.
Like, that is worth the watch. If you have not watched that, the Dynamite from this past week, June 14th, it's the opening match. Spoiler alert, goes to a time limit draw, but how it gets there, it's still worth the watch, even though with the spoiler like that, because obviously I don't think that business is done. But like he was back in the back, like, you know, nursing up his injuries, whatnot, and then Renee comes in and is like, oh yeah, you know, Hiroshi Tanahashi for the AEW World Championship, and he just looks and he's like, nah. Like, you don't normally see that. You know, it just was like I thought he was gonna be like, oh my god, are you kidding me? But he's like, no, I'm not gonna do that.
I'm out.
Like, it's just so disrespectful. So but I think that should be fun too. Like that should be a nice little match. And then I know the match that everybody's waiting for.
Is it?
I think so. Omega Ospreay. A lot of people are waiting for this.
I mean, I appreciate that, but I'm all about the Danielson Okada. Like,
I think that's a nice little cherry on top. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's like a nice cherry on top. But I think a lot of people are waiting for this, like, because this Omega Ospreay thing has been building for a while.
I know, it's been the whole thing.
Yeah. So like, if you're kind of diehard to both places, you've been waiting for the next time these two could meet together. Specifically, for the United States Championship. You know what I mean?
The forbidden door has opened.
Yes.
Very nice. And they have Collision coming up this Saturday. For the first one of forever. So we have, I'm just going to go down the card that I presently have. Let me know if I miss anything. They got Sky Blue and Nightingale and Storm and Soho. They have Andre El Idolo and Buddy Matthews.
Yep. Andrade coming back for that.
They got Wardlow and Luchasaurus.
That'll be interesting, but
it will be interesting. I think it'll be better if Luchasaurus wins, but get here or there.
I can only hope.
And then they have the 6-man tag, Punk and FTR versus Joe White and Robinson Juice. The juice is loose.
Bullet Club Gold.
Bullet Club Gold out there. So, I mean, that's...
And Miro.
Right, and Miro.
Miro.
Right, Miro's coming back. He's been literally doing nothing for like a whole year or so.
Like, he's been away for a while. Andrade's been away for a while.
He's been away for about a year or two.
Yeah.
They just haven't been around. for one reason or the other. I don't know. Don't know the backstories behind all that stuff. We can all, I don't know. But well, what I found was interesting. I don't know if you read this, but apparently, Danielson has been trying to help Khan with his booking. Like he's in the.
I have not read that.
Like lately, I think he's been.
I mean, somebody has to.
Yeah, somebody does have to.
Like that dude cannot be left to his own devices.
Yeah, I agree.
Somebody's got to help him out.
Yeah, he's.
I mean that the last Dynamite was pretty good. I thought. Yeah, it was pretty solid.
Good.
My only thing is with Collision. There's a couple things with this whole Collision thing. Like, first of all, if they're going to do this every Saturday, like, what is that going to do for the people who would normally, who would normally go out to watch like indie events on a Saturday? You know what I mean? Unless there's a pay-per-view or a premium live event.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, well, like, because, and this isn't like a Rampage where it's 1 hour. This is a 2-hour program.
They're trying to split, right?
Like, if they're trying to do brand split?
I think they're trying to brand split. I don't know if that's true or not, but it seems like a brand split. They got enough. I mean, they got enough on the roster to do a brand split.
Yeah, I mean, they do have enough people if they want to feature every single person every week.
Right.
Then yes, they can get away with that. But they've got Dynamite, they've got Rampage, they've got Collision. Like, but also if they were still gonna let AEW talent take bookings. And bookings are normally on Saturday.
And this is gonna be live, right?
Yeah, and Collision's gonna be live. Like live.
I guess they're not taking bookings.
I guess they're no longer taking those bookings.
Nope.
Or like they're holding it. Like I don't know. I mean, it better like you could always DVR it. So I guess like that's one thing.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, you have the DVR. You could always DVR it. I just like there's already so much. There's just so much.
Of course, there's so much. I'm not a fan of all of this, but you know what I mean. I cannot control. Like I barely watch wrestling as it is now. There's too much. Like so, I can only like read. I'll just read what's going on because like unless there's a match, like I hear like, oh, you got to watch this match. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and watch that match.
Yeah.
But like I'm just gonna go ahead and watch a recap of somebody on YouTube recapping what happened on Raw.
It's just
for like 10 minutes, 5 minutes.
If the shows you already have are not that compelling, why are we adding more?
Matter of fact, there's this girl on Instagram who I follow because I like her how she does like these recaps.
Mm-hmm.
Haven Rain is her name.
Okay. And
I follow her. And I just like whatever happens. So I'm just gonna like anything that happens. She watches AEW, she watches WWE. So I'll be like, and she's like, here's what happened. And like within like a minute or two, she spits off everything, and that's what I need. Like that's I'm like, okay, I'm up to date now. You know what I mean?
I mean, there are definitely parts because obviously I DVR everything and don't watch it live, and then you just when you see stuff, just fast forward through it.
Yeah, and then a week after that. Which is what you say, the 24th?
Hmm.
The 24th, the Money in the Bank?
No, Money in the Bank's July 1st.
July 1st, excuse me. The 24th next week.
Yeah, the 25th. The 25th is Forbidden Door.
Forbidden Door.
So that's not this weekend, but it's next week.
Next weekend, right.
So we'll see how that shakes out. I do want to watch that, though.
Right. And then, yeah, I think we'll watch too.
Collision, I'll DVR it, but like, I don't know. Also, like they're making the big thing of the return of CM Punk, like the second coming of CM Punk.
It's gonna be a decent rating. I mean, it's a Saturday night.
Is it though? So, like that's what I'm saying. It's a Saturday night.
But I'm saying for Saturday, it's gonna be a decent rating. Is what I'm saying. You know
I didn't know that qualifies. Like,
of course, it qualifies. Nobody watches TV on Saturday night.
Well, okay, but then like, could we say, oh, well, for a Tuesday, this was pretty good too, or like for a Wednesday, this was pretty good too?
Yeah, you qualify.
Like, do we have all the statistics of like, well, from on Wednesday from 6 to 10 p.m. Usually there's, blah, blah, blah million
That's
households
right.
doing this.
That's right.
That's not how they do the ratings.
No, they do, because I mean they're not going to get canceled because, like, let's say they get a 1 million rating, but if everybody else gets
if that was the case, all wrestling would be canceled.
Well, but I'm saying, like,
all
if everybody else is getting 0.4, you know what I mean? Then yeah, they're doing a good job. That's what I'm saying. So it just depends on what's ever in the time slot. They're trying to get ratings for that time slot. That's the goal, because they probably got nothing there.
Well, what's going to happen when you got college football?
College football is different. Oh, you mean when the college football happens? Yeah,
I was gonna say, because Collision's not going anywhere, and as soon as NBA comes back, as soon as because we're talking about TNT and TBS here, we're gonna be talking about NBA.
The ratings will plummet, just like when Monday Night Football comes around, when Raw is on, like Raw.
I just don't know why I just do not know why you're choosing Saturday at 8 p.m. I feel like that is the worst time.
I don't think they chose anything. I think that's the time slot that
they were given.
That's it.
If you're going to do it, you're going to do it here.
This is when you're doing it. We got nothing else here.
They should have stuck with.
All we're doing is going to watch. All we're going to do is play Fast and the Furious 5 on 8.
I'll say while everybody's watching Freeform for the movie of the night, or shit like that, or HBO.
Right, because everybody plays movies at.
It's true. That is the premium movie time.
Exactly, because nothing else is on. So because
they know everybody's doing things.
Exactly.
Everybody is doing things. Everybody has a life.
Exactly. So the people that don't have lives, there will be.
We don't have lives.
I'm not gonna be here Saturday. Fuck that. I'm But also, July 1st will be Money in the Bank. Now, we're not going to go through the whole card. However, I did want to touch on the Money in the Bank ladder match, specifically the men's ladder match, because it's fully formed. And
at the moment, yes.
At the moment. And these are the names that they have on there, which I find fascinating. Ricochet, which is not a fascinating name. He'll be in a ladder match.
Yeah, he's been in. I think he's been in one before.
Right, he's been in them.
Yeah.
LA Knight.
Yeah.
Shinsuke Nakamura, who's also been in them.
Mm-hmm.
Santos Escobar.
Yeah.
Butch and Damian Priest. That's it. Were you about to say something about Butch?
Why can't he be Pete Dunne again?
I don't know. I wish he would, because Butch is a terrible name, and Pete Dunne is amazing. He's an amazing wrestler, and he's he's made his character, and he's made his character, right? Like, he's still here doing his thing. You know what I mean? It's awesome. But anyway, I don't know.
I don't know why they ever changed it.
I don't know.
To
either.
Butch
Makes no sense. Well, that's.
I
know why. You are Butch. You are Butch. But maybe Pete Dunne kind of liked it. Maybe he's like, I kind of like Butch. I think it's working for me. I'm gonna do it.
Can't imagine.
I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know. But what I do know is that there are no former world champions in this match.
Yeah, in fact, if you just look at title history in general.
Yeah, Shinsuke is the most decorated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you got a couple United States championships, couple Intercontinental championships,
and NXT championship. I'm just thinking of
NXT championship.
Yep, he's the most decorated.
Yep,
and it's just interesting to see this match as it is currently, and I'm thinking this is kind of cool. This is
because we're definitely going to get somebody who.
Yeah,
has not really had their fair shake in that game,
right? And that's
be able to at least give it a chance.
And I feel like we had discussed this maybe a couple years ago. Talk about this, maybe not on this podcast, but outside of the podcast. This should be for somebody you're trying to build up, and then ultimately get their chance at a title.
Well, I mean, they. I think we talked about it in 2020 when they went with Otis.
Right, maybe.
You know what I mean? And Otis was the Money in the Bank, but then what came of that? You know what I mean? He never really got that shot.
Right.
Sometimes it's a hit or miss. Even with Theory.
Right.
It was a miss. But he's already he's already on the up and up. Like he's
Right.
come back from that, but
Right.
like, it
That
would
was a
just
mess.
it would just be a shame to see somebody like, let's say, because I think they are going to try to push Damian Priest to the moon. Like
Yeah.
immediately from my looking at this, I feel like that's my pick. Like,
Agreed.
that'll be my pick, and I think that might be the way they're going. But like, I would just hope that it's not squandered.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, because some of them get squandered.
Mm-hmm.
Like you've got like for every Edge and Dolph Ziggler and Seth Rollins cash in, you got
Baron Corbin.
You're going to end up with a Baron Corbin.
Yep.
You're going to end up with, like a Jack Swagger.
Yep.
You're going to end up with that sort of like meh.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I think
Damian Sandow.
Yeah, Damian Sandow.
You remember that? Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
I do. Damian
You know what I mean?
Sandow,
Like that,
yep.
like, for every one that's great.
Yeah.
And Nakamura already got burnt on the Royal Rumble before.
He did. He can't get burnt twice. Like, you
know what I mean? Like you give him a Royal Rumble win, and like most people forget he even won the Royal Rumble.
I know,
because it was such a
like,
oh my god, that might have been one of the biggest.
Well, it's
one of the biggest Rumble busts ever.
Yeah, and it's a letdown, and then on top of that, he never even won it. Like, it's okay to lose at Mania, but he never even got that title.
It's like he got there, and then they're like, okay, bye-bye. Yeah. Like it was like Wile E. Coyote. He was there, and he walked off the cliff, and then that shit held there for a minute.
Yeah,
and it was whip.
Yep,
like way down, gone, like gone,
crazy,
gone from that area.
Yep, it's unbelievable, honestly. But yeah, I hope they do this right. You know what I mean? I hope they do this right. So. But because you have these, this is kind of what I want to see sometimes. Like, it doesn't have to be every time, but like, hey, we got some guys in this.
But these guys are plausible too. Yeah,
yes, like up and coming, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, like Damian Priest is very plausible. Shinsuke, very plausible.
Very plausible.
Santos Escobar, very plausible.
Very plausible.
Ricochet, very plausible. Like,
yep.
Butch, if they made him Pete Dunne and could play off that history, my God, he'd be a front runner at this point.
Absolutely.
But nobody knows what Butch has done.
Right.
That's what kind of pissed me off about that whole thing.
But we'll get more in depth with this. In a couple weeks.
But here's what I want. I just want to like put this out there.
Yeah.
And then we can like double back to it as storylines go on. But like,
okay.
I think at this moment, logically, using my brain, Damian Priest will probably win. However, if I want to go with my heart,
you want
I want LA Knight so bad.
Yeah, you do.
I want to be on that gravy train so bad. I want LA Knight to do it.
Oh man. Oh yeah.
I want it so bad. And I want him to beat Roman Reigns.
Oh my God.
I want him to do it.
You know how big
I want him to do
how big that pop would be?
Oh,
you know how big that pop would be?
They would rename it from the Road Warrior pop to the LA Knight pop.
No joke. He's already over, and then all of a sudden he randomly beats him.
That's what I want. In my heart. I know that'll never happen, but in my heart, that's what I want. I want it to happen so bad.
Oh man. I'm just gonna quickly touch on MLB real quick.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, there's a couple things to touch on in MLB, in fact.
Yeah.
Because I know we talked about the suspension, but we also did not mention off the air about the A's.
Yeah. Well, little too late, A's. Now you want to come to games?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like, that's how I feel about that bullshit.
Yeah.
If you wanted to go see your team, you go see your team. The tickets are cheap.
Yeah. I mean,
the tickets are cheap.
Even if they're not my team and the tickets are that cheap, I'm going.
I'm going to the game.
Yeah.
I love baseball. I'm going to go.
Yeah.
I'd be like, because that's what I would be like. I'd be like, I remember the Nationals were terrible and nobody was going to those games. And I was like, I'm going to those fucking games. Literally. I get like they'd have the whatchamacallit seats, the behind the dugout, the Diamond Club, all you can eat, all you can drink.
Yeah, I was gonna say, didn't they have like the buffet seats?
Yeah,
you're paying like $40.
I think I paid
the buffet
$70 for all you can eat, all you can drink, right behind. I was drunk as balls, happy as hell, right behind the dugout for $70
for a Major League Baseball
game. We're not
talking about like AA, AAA here.
Yeah. I'd literally just go there by myself, and I'd take the metro over there. I'd sit there. I took my mom with me one time. I said, "Mom, we're going to this game. We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna go. We're gonna sit behind the dugout." This is when the earthquake happened. Matter of fact, that was the earthquake day, like in 2012 or something like that, or some shit. But yeah, I was like, "We're going to this game." And she was like, "What?" I said, "Yeah, we're going." So we sat behind that motherfucking dugout. She was like, "This is crazy. What drinks do you want? What food do you want?" Like, you know what I mean? For $70.
Yeah.
You can't go to a restaurant and get what you want like that for $70. And it wasn't like hot dogs and hamburgers, motherfucker. They got food out there in the buffet.
Right.
They're not fucking around out
Yeah, it wasn't just like little hot dogs and like
short
potato
ribs.
salad. And
There's short ribs in this bitch. There's pasta in this bitch. I had short ribs, pasta, mixed drinks, beer. I'm sitting here drunk as hell. Anyway, if I'm at Oakland A's State, I'm going to the game. Now you want to fill up the stadium? Well, kind of fill up the stadium.
Yeah.
Biggest crowd.
They're doing like the reverse boycott.
Yeah. Well, fuck. It's too late, man. You had your time. I'm sorry. You're gonna lose all your. You lost the Raiders. You're gonna lose the A's, and guess what? They're gonna get people over there at their stadium. It's gonna be fine.
That's what you get. That's what you get for being fickle.
Exactly.
That's what you get for.
You're gonna have to drive a little fucking further and go see the Angels play. Like, you know what I mean?
Yep.
That's it.
You're either going to be you're either going to Vegas if you're sticking with your athletics, or you're going to a different California team.
That's it. You're gonna go down the road and go to motherfucker. That's it.
Yep.
It's just that's all there is to it. Sorry. Like
teams move. What do you like?
I don't feel that bad. Like if I don't feel that bad because you can't get 2,000 people in your stadium when the shit it holds 40.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
and Vegas has proved that they'll get people.
They're going to get folks. They're going to get folks to games. Like, it doesn't have to be sold out every time. It's going to be a nice stadium. It's going to probably be a brand new nice stadium right over there. It's going to be because it's been widely known that the Oakland Coliseum is trash. Yeah. Like, that's also a thing.
Yeah.
So
they're not doing anything about it.
Yeah. So look, you're going to get a brand new stadium. They're probably going to have like state-of-the-art shit. It's probably going to look really nice. They're going to try and make it look like some, Atlanta Braves vibes down that way. I'm still trying to get you down there.
Sometime.
I'm still trying to get you down there. But
we'll go sometime.
Yeah. So Yankees playing in August. Yankees Braves playing in August. Just saying. Yeah, Braves. But anyway, but having said that, I'm not feeling bad about that. I know, like, I mean, I get it. I get it for the fans that did go, and I appreciate those diehards.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But like, in reality, you don't matter because you're not getting they're losing money off of you. Like, it's like they're not making any money, so they gotta go somewhere where they're gonna make some money. Like, that's all there is to it. I don't really know. I mean, but then
it doesn't help that the team continuously sucks.
No,
like, I don't think the team's necessarily gonna get better just because they relocate either.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because if you're gonna keep all your people, like, you're gonna keep your management, you're gonna keep all this other stuff, like. They're just going to suck somewhere else. That's why a lot of people, that's why a lot of people haven't been going, because that team has not been good. It's not been relevant. It's not been good for quite a bit of time.
Well, they're not spending any, you don't spend money, you're not going to win.
You know what I mean? But you can't, you got to spend money to make money.
Right.
But they've been like,
I guess
not making money, like that Moneyball thing.
I guess they want to spend money in Vegas. Yeah. I guess they want to spend money in Vegas. There must be a reason. So somebody must be fitting some of that bill over there.
I would imagine.
But on the other side of that, the Mets pitcher Drew Smith got suspended for 10 games. The German, your man German, had been suspended also for some shit, and
he was pitching in that game, I believe.
Oh, was he? Okay. Yeah,
Herman. I think Herman started that game that the other dude got.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Got caught.
Yeah. So there's three of them so far, which isn't like, I mean, it's not like an egregious amount, but at the same time, like, you should know At this point, like, the first time, okay, like, okay, we didn't know that the alcohol in the sticky, or did you? Like, you know what I mean? That could be, construed one way or the other. Then maybe something else happened with Herman, right? And maybe he's like, "Oop, that didn't work." That type of thing. This third time, it's like, bro, we should know now. Like, we should.
Well, and also, this is the second. This is a different person on the same team.
Yes.
When you think about it.
Oh, fair enough.
Because
yes,
if Scherzer got
right.
And now this Drew Smith dude who's on the same team,
right?
You would think that everybody on that same team would be a little bit more conscious of that, rather than, it's not like we've had three different guys from three different teams.
Right.
We've had three different guys from two teams.
Right. That's fair. That's fair.
Like, now we've got two guys from the Mets that got with this. Yet nobody else outside of Herman and the Yankees have had this become an issue.
Well, I don't know.
It's just a thought.
I don't know what's going on with these Mets. Well, they need to try. They need to try whatever they need to try, because right now they are struggling.
They're still losing.
They're struggling right now.
Meanwhile, Tampa Bay has won their 50th game.
That's crazy already.
Who saw that coming?
Already, it's crazy.
Not me.
No, nobody saw that. Nobody saw that.
I mean, by this point in the season, they've won 50 games.
That's insane. Honestly, that's insane.
Because I need to see what their actual, what the actual record is.
So I know it's 50 and 16 or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be under 20 losses for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely under 20. 50 and 22.
Oh no, it's 22.
Yeah, so they've played 72 games. So they're on pace. They're on pace for.
Are they going to win 100 games? You think? Well, you think Tampa Bay is going to win 100 games this season?
They're going to win well over 100 games according to this.
Yeah, I mean, this
110 on pace for probably 110-ish. Games, like something stupid like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's impressive. I mean, and they haven't slowed down really that much.
No, that's the thing. It was like, okay, when are they coming back to earth? Like, who's on their team that's keeping this offense going? Because it's not like they're just squeaking by either. Their run differential's really good.
Right.
Plus 142 run differential.
Look at Texas. Look at the Rangers. 145.
I know. That's insane.
That's
insane.
Dude.
But I mean, also you look at Oakland. Oakland's literally the reverse Tampa Bay's.
Yeah.
They have not won 20 games yet.
Yes.
They are at 19 and 52.
What's crazy is they beat us twice.
Oops.
They beat us twice.
Yo, I got a bone to pick with you. Your dude Strider is screwing up, man.
I know. Well, he said his
dude on my fantasy team, and he is.
I know. Well, he said his he's like
blind
mechanics. He's like struggling with mechanics right now.
Yeah.
So like,
he's struggling.
His last 4 or 5 starts have not been great.
Dude, just his last 2 starts have been ugly.
Oh, I know. He's getting lit up like a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm telling you, tell him to fix it.
I don't know what to tell you. All I know is we won that game. That's all I give a shit about. Like,
I was gonna say not because of him.
No, it wasn't because of him. No. Oh my god, I didn't even see that game. I just saw I was like, oh god, damn, like what I mean. But
I'll tell you what, even the Orioles, like looking at the Orioles here, 43 and 25. Look at you. Go ahead, Baltimore.
Yeah, Baltimore's doing their thing, man. Like, but I mean, I'm not super surprised by that. Like, I was like, Tampa Bay, I'm surprised that they're just this dominant. Texas Rangers, I'm just blown away by.
And they're missing DeGrom for all this too. It's not like, you know what I mean? Like with somebody like that, I would have been like, okay, you know what? Fine, I get it.
And I'm impressed with the Marlins. Marlins are up there doing their thing. You know what I mean? Like, they're in the prime spot for a wild card.
Pittsburgh is surprising me that they're only up by a game, but like still that Pittsburgh,
not a great division, but they're still up there. Yeah, Diamondbacks are good. Like, I mean, it's an interesting year. There's always parity a little bit every few years. You know, you get those teams, and
well, and there's still obviously a lot more baseball.
Oh, so much baseball. So much baseball.
These
are these days right here, like June, July, like June and July, like those are the months that really start to like
Well, because we are nearing, we're getting close to that All-Star break.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But that's when you start to see those little things like we've had now. Like now we're through April and May.
Yep.
So like now we are starting to settle into what these teams are.
Yep.
Barring injuries to, players and stuff, like we're starting to see the identities of these teams at this point.
What's interesting about the All-Star break is that's when all the kind of the weird trades happen. So maybe those trades like they boost a team or something, depending on like whatever situation may be, or if they get this guys from injury back that have been out all year, and then they start to make those runs. Like it's interesting. It's interesting how it all.
Because I mean, if the Mets are going to keep being toward the bottom, are they going to start selling some of those pieces?
Yeah, they're going to have to start trading or make some bigger trades. Like they got Verlander and Scherzer on here. Verlander ain't shit anymore. Scherzer's still doing.
They're fine. Like they're fine,
but like
yeah,
it's just like these guys are old. Like you need to get younger. like you got old guys here. You're trying to make a run. That run did not work. It's not not right now. It has not worked. I'm not saying it hasn't worked. It's not going to work. But they're just not. They're notoriously not good for closing down the stretch, as we well know in years past. That has not changed through generation. It's a generational thing right now. Like they just do not close well. So
it's literally just a team thing. Like it's beyond management, it's beyond players, it's beyond coaching.
Anything.
It's just like
ownership doesn't matter. Like it's just they have been notoriously known to kind of just falter down the stretch. So and it happened last year.
They're like cursed. They're like cursed with it.
Yeah. And they were up 10. I remember they were up, I think, as much as 10 or 11 on us. And we came back and beat them down, came down and beat them down. Actually swept them down the stretch as well. Like it was just, and then we beat the shit out of them again this year. Like we swept them again, like this year at start. I thought they're going to come back with some revenge, and we just beat them up again. It was bad. But
beat them for the pennant.
Yeah, and we came back. We came back in those games too. Like this year. Like it was like crazy. They were like, we can't beat them. No, you cannot. Can't beat the Braves or better.
Not this one.
No. But
no.
We'll kind of wrap this up this week.
Yeah, I was gonna say we not a whole lot else to kind of touch upon there.
Yeah, we just wrap this thing up this week. Let's go ahead and plug it away, man. Let's plug it away. I know you got something coming up in a couple months.
Yeah. So what I could not divulge yet last week, but now I can this week is, due to contractual obligations, that was sort of an oversight on our part here as far as HTW management's concerned. In the contract where we were getting Christmas trios, from Ethan Wild and whatever, in there was a clause that they get to run some kind of show of their choosing. And so they chose to now cash in on that fact. So we've got coming up on August 12th, I even got the little picture right here for those of you watching the YouTube feed here. Wild LLC, in conjunction with High Tension Wrestling, is putting on a Midsummer Nightmare. So this is going to be in Brooklawn, New Jersey, at the Brooklawn American Legion Post on Saturday, August 12th. And this is going to be interesting, because we're letting an Ethan Wild be in charge here of certain things. So it's going to be interesting to see what comes out of it. But either way, tickets are now available on the website. So you can go to www.hightesionhtw.com/shop, or you can find us on social media at hightesionhtw and find all the links for tickets and merch and all that kind of stuff there. You can find that out. But tickets are on sale for this show that's going to happen, a Midsummer Nightmare. Very, very Shakespearean in a way. It kind of went full circle. You know how I screwed up like Shakespeare shit in the beginning. Now we're getting a little Shakespeare theme here at the end, because Ethan Wild's got to keep it smart and classy, all that kind of stuff. So so you got Midsummer Nightmare coming to you from Brooklawn, New Jersey, which is actually right over the bridge from Philadelphia. So if you are somebody in the Philadelphia area, it is not very far at all. I believe it's maybe a 10-minute drive once you get over that bridge into New Jersey. So it's very, very close, that if you enjoy that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And stay tuned for who's going to be part of it, what kind of matches, because this is definitely, if I know Ethan Wild, it's going to be a little bit different than you're used to from our typical HTW shows and things of that nature. So, stick around for that. Get your tickets for it while you can. And we're going to keep coming out with different stuff here on the network and things of that nature. So, again, follow us here at High Tension HTW across all social media platforms. We've got something special next week because next week, as far as the sweatshop goes, I will be on vacation. And then I think, you're going to be on vacation. Are you going to be on vacation at that same time? Or are you soon?
I'm
You're
on
going
some time, but I'm going to be back before.
You're going to be back before. Okay. All
Right.
right. Yeah. So basically, we're both going to be away for a little bit. So we're going to do something special next week. We're going to try out something different. So you guys tune in for that next week. If you want to get little previews of it, or we might drop some hints about it, or, some comments, whatever. Follow us at the Sweatshop Pod across all social media, includes Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all that good stuff. Find us there. Get at us too, because I'm sure some of you guys have opinions about the Money in the Bank matches, Forbidden Door, all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
We're looking to talk to you. You know what I mean? We're fans just like y'all. So let's interact. Let's make it happen.
Please.
But yeah, follow us across the board at the Sweatshop Pod, 2 P's in that one, at the Sweatshop Pod, like that. Get that on there. Yeah. Police. Anyway, so you can follow myself across all social media at Maestro A. Scott. You can follow my my brain shut down for a moment. It went hobble. You can follow my boy over there. Sorry, pointing wrong direction. Follow Sweats at eJacob Music across the board, social media. And don't forget to get your tickets for Midsummer Nightmare to see what kind of shabang is going to happen in Brooklyn, New Jersey.
Ready. I'm probably going to be there for that.
Hey!
I'm going to be there for that one. I'm trying to slide through.
All right.
I'm trying to slide through for that one.
Perfect. And get ready.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say. Get ready.
All right, y'all. From me and the Maestro, we are closing up shop.